Hello, America. I am Joseph Samuel Catalano III, and I'm running for president of the United States in 2028. Today, we have to talk about a crisis of professionalism in our federal agencies, and I'm talking about ICE. An agency that was built to protect us has turned into a unit that is out of control. They are acting like cowboys instead of professional unit we pay for with our tax dollars. And the results are tragic. Look at the facts from just this month. January 2026 in Minneapolis, an ICE officer fatally shot Renee Nicole Good, a mother in her own community. In El Paso, a medical examiner is investigated the death of a detainee as a homicide. And in St. Paul, agents forced their way into a home without a judge warrant and detained an American citizen at gunpoint. This is not protecting the borders. This is a failure of training. This is a failure of leadership. As your president candidate in 2028, I will not tolerate a cowboy culture in the federal law enforcement. Here is my promise to you if I'm elected. Under a Catalano administration, there will be no warrantless home entries. We will follow the Fourth Amendment, period. We will restore the body camera program that this current administration has gutted. If you wear the badge, you wear the camera. We will overhaul the training. Our agents will be trained in de-escalation and constitutional laws, not just force. We need an agency that targets high-threat criminals, not ones that put American citizens in danger. I am Joseph Samuel Catalano III, and it's time back to bring professionalism standards back to Washington. God bless you, and God bless America. We'll be right back to address this in about 60 seconds. Thank you. Hello again, Americans. As I stated, we have a serious crisis at hand. And in the Catalan administration, if we are elected in 2028, I won't tolerate this. They're acting like a bunch of cowboys instead of a professional unit. They were formed to protect us from the borders, to protect us from illegal immigrants that are dangerous. And it's turning into chaos where they're hurting our own people in America. And this is at the fault of the administration of our government. And we must fix this. And make this statement as I'm heart-filled for what happened last night, what happened earlier in the month in Minneapolis. And as presidential candidate, I had no choice but to address this. I'm not looking for any fame. I'm not a politician. I've never been in office anywhere. I'm not from a rich politician family. I'm just an average American, just like the average working American man or woman. And if you vote for Catalano in 2028, Catalano and Sardina, we will guarantee you that we will restore order. We will make this country where the American people feel proud to be an American. As I stated many times before, and one thing that I have learned over the last couple months, and this is based on talking with voters and people, is if they're going to take me serious, I gotta be serious on how I talk. I may not be a guy that knows all the laws and all our Constitution or all our foreign policies, but I'm willing to learn. But I know what needs to be fixed, and I know I'm the man to fix it, because we can't keep going on like this. This is just horrifying. And I'm going to show some of the latest news. I'm not going to stay on. This was just a little news briefing. I went live. I could have taped it and I was going to put it up, but I went live on both channels. I'm on my political channel, which is not monetized. And please go over there and subscribe and help me support this campaign We need volunteers in several states to get signatures to get on the ballot. The vice president is working on New York. We need 45,000 signatures in New York. Of course, I'm working on Florida, which is 145,000. But there are some states that are not as many signatures. And I've talked to several states' election offices, and some of them I'm waiting for packets to come in the mail. Some of them I was able to download. So now it's time to get serious. We want to get ahead of the game because we want to win, and we want to make America better. So I just felt compelled, and my duty as a candidate, that I had to speak on this. And I would love to have your support, hear your views. We will start doing, as we get to do more interviews with on political shows and news stations, that we're talking with local news first. We're going to get it out with the local news and newspaper first of all to let people know who I am. You can find me on my Twitter page, my political Twitter page at Catalano 2028. My Facebook page also is find me at Catalano 2028 for my Facebook political page, and then of course at YouTube. My YouTube channel is what is my YouTube channel? Hang on a minute, I'll tell you guys here in a minute. It's one I don't know by heart. I'm sorry. Apologize for that. But my YouTube channel here is I believe it's at Catalano 2028 as well. I believe it is. Let me double check that. Hang on, bear with me. Sorry about that. I want people to go and subscribe and put their views and what they expect out of me. A lot of people are not taking me serious. They think that I'm doing a grift here. I'm not. I really, really am saddened by the way this country, the direction it's going. And I know a lot of people don't have a lot of faith in me yet, but I'm going to show and I'm going to prove to you guys that if I'm elected, I'm going to do the job correctly. I'm going to do it honestly. I'm going to be transparent. I'm not going to be political like has failed the last 100 years of politics. We don't need a politician that's going to be a yes, 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 and then behind closed doors, they're lying and not telling us the real truth here. We don't need that no more. And I'm not here to rain on any past president, but we've had a lot of failures out of the government from the White House. President Trump, a lot of people don't like him. Me personally, I do. I think he's doing the best of what he's got to work with, but we need to do better. And this ICE thing, he needs to fix it. So I'm appealing to President Donald Trump as a presidential candidate for 2028. Please, Mr. President, you must tend to these matters the proper way and put this back in order. You must make America first, and you must get these officers retrained. You must. It's a must. So let's show this. You can reach me at YouTube page is Catalano for President 2028. I'm sorry. That's the one I didn't remember. All right, so let's go to the CNN. Let me go just show you this latest one. We'll watch it and we can talk about it. And then I'm only going to be on a few minutes because it just wasn't about anything but to get to the point of what's going on and what our position is on it. And I hope that you guys would see in the near future to support Catalano and Sardina and at least give us the benefit of the doubt that we are going to try our best to do the best for all the American people here. I'm telling you, if you get to know me as a human being, you'll see how my passion is for certain things and how I will fight the fight to fix our government and to fix America. Again, we can't be spending billions of dollars to help other countries if we're not helping ourselves. We have to help us first. We have to put ourselves first in America. So let's go to CNN. Here we go. Share. Sorry about that. Share. CNN. Share. Bring this up to there. And bring this down here. All right. All right, then bring this out to this. All right, I think I did. I believe I did this right. All right, so now let's watch this very analyst shed new light. A CNN video analyst sheds new light on the killing of Alex Preda. So here we go. Let's watch this.
Federal immigration officers fatally shot a man Saturday in Minneapolis. He was an ICU nurse who worked at a local veteran affairs hospital. Another controversial killing by U.S. immigration agents, and the second U.S. citizen killed this month. CNN analyzed cell phone footage from multiple angles. Taken together, they appear at odds with the Department of Homeland Security's initial claims about the lead-up to officers firing on Alex Preddy. Around 9 a.m. Central, video captures two people approaching a federal immigration officer in front of an unidentified vehicle. The sound of whistles is blaring in the background. Alex Preddy enters the frame here. He's filming an officer interacting with protesters and waving a car through. 15 seconds later, Preddy yells,
I mean, if this is not a problem in our country, 2 U.S. American citizens this month have been killed. Is that what the program is about? Was that designed to kill U.S. Americans? No, it was not. It was to protect us from the borders and from illegal aliens that are coming here with serious crimes and criminal activity. And it was to protect the United States of America. And yet ICE is off like cowboys killing U.S. citizens. So this is a big problem. And even a guy like me, who's never been in politics, never been in any office, just as a private U.S. citizen, can see that we have a problem. And I want to do something about this, and I want to make
in
this
their
right.
statement, DHS said that an individual approached officers with, quote, a 9mm semi-automatic handgun. This video seems to show officers approaching Preddy instead of the other way around. We'll see later that Preddy does appear to have had a gun in his waistband, but this video shows he didn't have a gun in his hand, only a phone. Video from this white car shows an up-close angle of a federal immigration officer pushing one protester. Then, 3 seconds later, he pushes Preddy. And then as the camera comes into focus, you see the same federal officer push a third protester with the orange backpack. Preddy raises his hand and turns away, just as the officer sprays him with a chemical irritant. You see Preddy and the other protester trying to help the person with the orange backpack. You can see here an officer pulling Preddy off of this person. 3 more officers join, and then 2 more. Preddy is on the ground under them. One officer in a tan beanie can be seen repeatedly striking Preddy's head with a metal can. You can see an officer in a gray jacket walk into the frame. There isn't a gun in his hand. Seconds later, officers shout. The officer removes a gun from Preddy's belt. The officer steps away from the scene carrying a firearm, seen here in his right hand. Then, gunfire.
Now,
at least 10 shots ring out. We looked back at the scene from different angles and
now, was it necessary for the necessary use of force to fire 10 shots? I don't think so. These guys are like they hired a bunch of wild cowboys and said, here, just go out and, do what you got to do. I mean, this is a bad look for our country. This program is failing miserably. And I know that a lot of people, especially some people in this chat, that have their opinions on this. And I'll put up a few of the comments. And then I just wanted to show you a little bit of that, talk about it. I've said how I felt about this. I've gave my statement. I've told you guys, if we're elected in office, what we're going to do. We're going to follow the 4th Amendment, period. We're going to retrain these people. We're not going to take them to be cowboys and not be professional. It's just not going to happen. And we're not going to keep them killing U.S. citizens. So let's go take a couple things here. Let's see. Sorry about this. Put this on there. There we go. Hang on 1 second, people. I don't know why I'm up here twice. That I don't understand. It's acting weird tonight, Evie Mux. Okay. Tukey Puppet. Let's see what Tukey Puppet has to say. Tukey Puppet says, if only the previous administration had let 10 million illegals enter the country completely, unvetted, ICE wouldn't be necessary. That's regardless. If you're going to deploy a unit, they still should have been trained professionalism, how to properly do their job. And you're right. I agree with that too. But they're out of control, and this is going to only get worse. It's going to get worse. These guys think they're above the law, from what I'm seeing, and that they can do whatever they want as long as they got the people backing them. This is going to be a problem. I don't see, unless he steps in from the White House and he sees that there is a problem here that has to be fixed immediately. These guys are not going to back down, and that's sad. We need to defund them. $40 billion, I think $40 million last year was 40 million for the ICE program. For what? Taxpayers' money that this is what's happening? No, this is unacceptable. And Dale, what is it he's saying here? Dabble Dale says, I'm not going to vote for socialism like Comrade Chat. Well, that's your entitlement, sir. I don't think he's a communist socialist. I think he's going to be a good vice president, but you're entitled to your opinion, sir. And if you just give him a chance, he's never been in the political race, and he's working out the nerves right now, and maybe he worded things the wrong way, and we're talking about that, and just give him a chance because he's a really, really good human being. So that's just what I'm asking. You do what you feel is necessary. Doomspayer, one of our great clippers in the Dabbleverse, as president, what do you plan to do against Felicio DMCA takedowns and the offenders? Well, if they're breaking the law, if any law is being broken, they're going to have to be dealt with in an orderly way, in a way of justice. And that's just plain and simple. We don't want nobody to just think that they can do what they want in this country. And like I said, I wanted to touch on this ICE thing, and I'm gonna put the notation on this, Doom, and maybe in a couple of days I'll address this. And you're more than welcome to even come on with me if you like, and we could do it together. So reach out to me, and we could do that. I like that word, frivolous DMCA, frivolous. It's a powerful word, powerful word. And I thank you for all you do for the Dabbleverse and for mankind. Thank you very much. It says, who's this now? This is Vinny Rose, 3672. Deport. All right. I shouldn't be laughing, but I know that a lot of you guys like to have fun, but I got to be a little more serious. That was a funny statement, though. Thank you. I'll see what we can do for you, buddy. No promises there. Rudy Baga 1. Give Minnesota to Canada. We'll take Alberta and trade. Well, that's a thought. That's a good thought. I like the way you're thinking. You have to think outside the box in some of these situations. You have to be humble, and you have to realize there is a problem, and you have to, as a presidential candidate, it's just that. I still have to get on the ballot. I still have to be out there for people to recognize and have a valid platform and a valid point to what I'm going to do for this country. I'm working on that. I know a lot of people don't have faith in me because, they just don't see it. But I promise you, and I know that a lot of the good people out here have seen just my everyday change in my life, to get healthier, to be more caring, to understand, to accept change, to accept things that I can't control. I think that I've done this all in a great way that will set a precedent to show you that I will work hard at this. I will make everybody proud. All I'm asking for is the opportunity. And we'll see what happens. Mud Shark, hello, how are you? I'm going to just put up a couple more, guys. I'm going to get out of here. I just wanted to touch on this. And we got a lot of work ahead of us. Like I said, Vice President is going to be handling the New York. We're going to he's got a lot less than I got to get in Florida. The good thing about New York is we didn't have to go in, fill out a packet, and wait for a letter of approval. They do it the opposite. You download the proper form that people are to sign to get you on the ballot. The only stipulation is that he must witness everything that's signed and sign after it's signed. He cannot just pass 20 to somebody and not see that they signed it, because they'll be disregarded and invalid and be tossed in the garbage. So that's his job. I believe that he'll be able to do this, and we'll knock that state out. There's a couple states that require only 1,000. I'm going to attack those states pretty quickly and knock those out. You know what you need. There's 538 electoral votes totally in the 50 states. You only need 270 to win the election as president. So I got to focus on the heavy electoral states. But some of those states, California, 210,000 signatures I need. And you don't need every state. You don't have to be on every state that you don't need every state running for president. That's the best part about it. You really only need the states that can take you to what you need electoral votes. You know, it's still a tough and a long process. It's you want to try to get every state, but not necessary. And it can be done with a lot of hard work and a lot of just a lot of hours and a lot of dedication to it. And that's one thing I'm ready to do now. I'm going to take this serious. Um, I have to separate, like I said, my channel that's in the Dabbleverse. I'm not discarding it. I'm not saying it's bad. What I'm saying is I have to learn to separate it. I have to control my temper. I can't be going on rants over there and people look at me like, and this is the guy who's the president candidate, even though I feel that as long as there's a real person in there that's going to make really value points and is going to do something and actually do something to make change, to me, that's the kind of man you want in, or woman, that's going to fight for the American people and not take nothing from anybody, not break any laws, not have any corruption in any part of the government, not abuse the system. And we all know, in reality, a lot of the political people in office, they do abuse their power. They do abuse the taxpayers' money. They waste a lot of money in areas that don't need to be wasted. And most of all, we don't need to help other countries if we're not helping us first. How can we be a stable country and be the best country if we can't even get our American soldiers that are forgotten, that are living under viaducts and living homeless? I mean, come on. Wake up. Wake up. Wake up and care for America first. If I was face to face with President Donald Trump today, I would be very respectful. But I would very, very voice my opinion. I wouldn't be on a rant like I would be in a Dabbleverse like Carmick. But I would sit down and be very serious with him, and I would make the best point I can for he to understand that he is, in my opinion, he's a great man, and he's done everything he said the first year in office. He's a little, unorthodox with some of the way he does, but he is our president that we put in office. And for the most part, he's one I think we can trust. And I would like him to really fix this problem, because if we get in office and it's not fixed, we're definitely going to fix it. Chad literally said, I'm from the, I understand that. I know that. I was out there when he said it. I understand, and you have all the right to be concerned. What I'm asking you, if we could just give him a little breathing room. I'm sure he didn't mean to say that. He'll reevaluate that. He's a good man. He really is. Take him out of the Dabbleverse, and you met him as a normal person. He's a good guy, and he's a hardworking man, and he wants to help Middle America to stay strong and not be used and abused. And I understand that his views, take from the rich and give to the poor. That's not exactly how we want to do it. But you all know that the special rich elite group, they do get a lot of special privileges. And I think that they just need to follow the law just like any other citizen. We all, no matter how much money we have, how poor we are, we all should follow the law in the right way and want to do it. Okay? I've been on both sides of the fence. I've done criminal activities. I've done things that I shouldn't have done that a normal U.S. citizen, but without making excuses, I did it because I chose to. Now, privately, my reasons, I could sit there and blame it on this one, that one. I would never do that. No matter what, we will always have a choice of what direction you're going to go. Everybody controls their own destiny in their own life. And I made a lot of poor choices. But does that make me a bad human being? No. Does that make me a scumbag? No. It makes me a person that broke the law, and I was dealt with and punished in many ways for what I've done. And yes, I did a crime against the government that I'm running for office. That's absurd. I know it is. But when people say that I committed the fraud, I wasn't charged. I was part of the fraud. I admit that I spent the money freely, but I was not convicted of any fraud in this doing. Not saying that it's right or wrong. What I was convicted for is 100% in writing in Pacer, the government website, If you look at the transcripts, and my charge was making a false statement to a federal agent, one false statement. And today I heard on the show saying that they have proof that I ratted on my wife. And I opened the door. My opening line was, I didn't do it. It had nothing to do with it. My wife did. And I'll give you all the information. That's a blatant lie. And I'm gonna say this very nicely. Just remember, I am a presidential candidate, and that what you did is not the proper way to display yourself. And if I want to press this issue, I can. And I'm still thinking about it, I can. Do not make accusations about me that's not true. And because I will hold you accountable for it. And as far as to address the Dave Sarah incident, how would it look if I was in a chat room and you guys know I'm a presidential candidate, even though you think it's a big grift, and I didn't act on it? One, I would look like a weak person for not doing it, and that I condoning the drugs. And if I do it, I'm going to be a snitch to everybody. So I had to do my civic duty to report it. I didn't report him to the police. I told them I was going to tell YouTube. They took it down. They struck my political channel too because I had it up there. Just so fairness, they gave me a strike warning as well. And I had to do a class because I didn't put it as an educational purpose when I made the clips. And they got me too. Just so everybody, we're being transparent here. My political channel got knocked with the warning strike, and I had to do a class. So, and I'm not complaining because, and people could come at me. I saw people today say, "Oh, that was baking soda." It was not. It was clearly you could see him snorting it. It was wrong, and I don't want to hate on anybody, but Dave Sarah needs to get a lot of help because I was a career addict, and it does nothing but make you fall to your rock bottom, and you're either going to be dead or you're going to be homeless, and it's not a good feeling. He's a human being, so he deserves to get the help that we all would deserve to get, and I would hope he would want to. And I don't know if he really does because it seems like he likes to do those kind of things, and I don't know really what kind of a man he is outside of what I see. So I'm not going to sit here and say he's this and he's that. So that's all I'm going to address on the Dave Sarah. I heard the political show, OG Mumbling Nick said he forgot to ask me that when I was interviewed last week, and that's what happened. If I don't do it, then I'm a piece of garbage that condones drug use, and I'm weak. I do it; it shows leadership, but I'm a no good snitch. So I win, I lose either way, and I made the right choice, and that's all I can say on that. So I want to thank everybody for tonight. I hope that you do support Catalano and Sardina for 2028. Help me get on the ballot, and let me show you what I can do. Because I think together as a whole, the United States, as U.S. citizens as a whole, we can make this country better and run correctly like a Swiss timepiece. I'm Joseph Catalano III. I'm running for president of the United States in 2028. I need your help to get on the ballot. And I approve this message. May God bless you, and may God bless America. Good night, and have a wonderful evening.